On the 23rd and 24th of August 2023, Zimbabwe held its general election meant to choose members of the local authority, National Assembly members, as well as the country's president. Now, in these elections, ZANU-PF garnered 136 National Assembly seats, while Triple C got 73%. Now, let's look at the presidential election, where ZANU-PF's presidential candidate, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, garnered 52.6%, while Nelson Chamisa of the Triple C got 44%. It all culminates to today, the 4th of September 2023, a very important day in Zimbabwe's history, a very important day in Zimbabwe's calendar as we witness the inauguration of President-elect Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa. Hello and welcome to the presidential inauguration. My name is Yvonne Mukandani.
And I am Ian Wambe. Thank you so much for joining us. We are coming to you live from our Pocket View studios. Quite a big day, like Yvonne rightfully said, that we get to witness the inauguration of our President-elect Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa following his victory during the 2023 general elections. We will be giving you more proceedings happening from the National Sports Stadium, where it is the venue where we will get to see His Excellency being inaugurated into office today. There will be so much that is happening. Later on, a match between the Warriors of Zimbabwe and the Brave Warriors of Namibia. Maybe for the first time, we get to see the Warriors after a bit of a time, but it is coming through after the inauguration of His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Yes, Yvonne, we get to see messages coming through from various SADC countries, also some members of the public just getting to congratulate His Excellency following the peaceful elections that took place on the 23rd and the 24th of August. And today, it's all happening at the National Sports Stadium. Indeed,
it is all happening at the National Sports Stadium, and hearty congratulations coming in, as Ian rightfully said. And this is a day that is not only important for Zimbabwe, but for the SADC region at large, especially looking at the economic contributions that Zimbabwe has on the region and on the world at large.
Just to celebrate His Excellency, it is the month of September, and we do know that we also have His Excellency celebrating his birthday in just about 11 days. So it is coming to make sure that things will be happening. So, like we rightfully said, we're going to be making sure I get to give you everything happening. And right about now, we take you straight to the National Sports Stadium, where Justin Matlashla is on standby.
Thank you so much, Ian. And yes, the National Sports Stadium is filling to the brim. Thousands and thousands of delegates are gathered here to witness the inauguration of President-elect Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, the ZANU-PF presidential candidate in the just-ended August 23 general elections. And of course, President Emmerson Mnangagwa garnering 52.6% of the vote. And of course, his closest rival, Advocate Nelson Chamisa of the CCC, also got 44% of the vote. And on the 26th of August 2023, the electoral body, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, declared President Emmerson Mnangagwa the winner of the August 23 presidential election. And now today, people are here to witness the inauguration for the second term of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Dignitaries from the region and abroad have arrived to witness this auspicious occasion, and it's a joyous moment for Zimbabwe, a joyous moment also for the ruling ZANU-PF party, whose aspiring and incoming Member of Parliament for Nyanga South, Honorable Superman Wanzira, is joining me here today to discuss this event and what it means for him as well as for the generality of Zimbabweans. Honorable, welcome and congratulations for the victory.
Well, thank you very much. I think we need to thank Zimbabweans for, excuse me, for overwhelmingly voting our president back in the office, voting the majority of ZANU-PF MPs back in the office. And we want to also thank Zimbabweans for voting in some areas for the opposition, which enhances our democracy as a country. So we're most excited about what is happening today. We're most excited that we have had a very peaceful election that has produced results, which results cannot be challenged by anyone. And that's why you see, despite all the noises, there's nobody who has gone to court to say we can prove that the result was different from what was announced by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. So we'd like to thank Zimbabweans for their maturity, for showing maturity in conducting a very peaceful election where the winners and losers agree who the winners were.
Of course, yes, the declaration by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, of course, endorsing that victory by President Emmerson Mnangagwa, as you mentioned. Now we are witnessing today the inauguration of President Emmerson Mnangagwa what trajectory do you think the president is going to take with the Second Republic come this official beginning of his second term today?
I think the president has already laid the foundation of what his leadership is about. His leadership is about economic transformation of our country. His leadership is about creating economic opportunities for Zimbabweans. His leadership is about rebuilding the country's infrastructure in order to attract international investment as well as domestic investment. The president has been very clear. I think when he came in his first few months of his first term, he went out and told the whole world that Zimbabwe is open for business. The second thing he said, Zimbabwe is a friend to everyone and is not an enemy to anyone. And your enemy is not our enemy, your friend is our friend. So as a result, we have seen the president invest significantly his efforts in rebuilding infrastructure in the country. The new airport, the roads, dam infrastructure, borders, new borders, and building of highways and upgrading the rural roads. The dams especially have been very useful in one of the president's major successes, which is food security, scoring on food security. Now, the last 5 years have basically been laying the foundation of what is going to happen in the next 5 years. There is going to be an accelerated growth path, and the president is pushing for more investment in mining, more investment in agriculture, more investment in manufacturing, more investment in infrastructure development, which allows for employment creation. He is aware that Zimbabweans are desperate for jobs, Zimbabweans are desperate for opportunity, Zimbabweans are desperate for generally a not difficult life. Vanoziva president kuti vanhu vari kutambura, and vari kutambura nenyaya yekushayiwa mabasa, vari kutambura nenyaya yekushayiwa mikana munyika yavo. Ndo zvavakatarisa kugadzirisa. Vanoziva kuti chakakoshera mwana weZimbabwe kuti pave nechikafu chekuti vana vadye mangwanani, masikati namanheru. Chakakoshera mwana weZimbabwe kuti afile kuti mhuri yangu yakachengetedzeka uye nyika yangu iri kundiitira zvandoda kuti indiitire. Ndo zvakanangana na president in next 5 years. Muchaona kuti migwagwa yakawanda ichagadzirwa, muchaona kuti mabhodha akawanda achawakwa kuitira kuti vaya vari kudyidzana nedzimwe nyika panyaya dzezvekutengeserana basa riri rakufamba zvakanaka. Muchaona kuti kuagriculture, kurima kuchawedzerwa, vanhu vachapiwa rutsigiro rwakasimba panyaya dzekurima. Muchaona kuti kumigodhi kuchaita mainvestment anouya nevana vemuno nemamwe anouya nevana vekunze kuitira kuti nyika yedu isimukire ibudirire.
Honorable, I want to thank you and appreciate you for sharing your time with us, especially on what you are expecting the president will be undertaking come the beginning of his second term. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me, but most importantly, what the president would like to see is unity, is Zimbabweans working together. That is why you are seeing here that dignitaries have been invited, including the opposition. The leader of the opposition, main opposition, Mr. Nelson Chamisa, is also one of the guests that has been invited. Whether you come or don't come, it does not matter. It is the effort that has been demonstrated by the president that he wants to unite the country. And I encourage every Zimbabwean, whether you voted for ZANU-PF, you voted for the opposition, this is the time to build our country. We need each other, I think.
We need each other. That's the message from Honorable Super Manduanzira, incoming Member of Parliament for Nyanga South. Of course, this is a big day for him, as also he is a member of the ruling ZANU-PF party, which got into victory on the 23rd of August 2023, the general elections that also ushered into power the presidential candidate for the party, President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, who will be inaugurated today here at the National Sports Stadium. We are taking you back to our Pocket studios, where Ian is waiting.
Thank you so much, Justin, for that update. Justin Matlashla coming through from the National Sports Stadium. And you can tell from the atmosphere, Yvonne, it is a full capacity stadium. People have come from all four corners of the country just to witness the inauguration of His Excellency President Emmerson Mnangagwa. And Justin was rightfully explaining together with the Honorable Superman Dwanzira there that the Second Republic has done so much, especially looking at some of the projects. Talk of the road rehabilitation, the highway, the Harare Masvingo Highway. You love that, I know.
I most definitely do, Ian. And a very important thing that we maybe need to look at is tracing the campaign trail of ZANU-PF, where they were particularly looking at the works that the Second Republic has undertaken during its tenure. We're talking of before the elections. Like you mentioned, we'd look at the rehabilitation of the country's roads. We cannot talk of a country's development in terms of economic development or any other development to speak of without mentioning the country's roads.
Right.
Look at tourism. Our tourists come into the country. We need beautiful roads for that. Even integration with the region, we need good roads for that.
The road network.
Yes, kudos to the Second Republic for embarking on that and making sure that we have a viable road network. And also the Beitbridge border post is now a one-stop border. So yeah, it speaks volumes of the Second Republic, of its works, and to where we are today as a people.
And it all comes through because of the NDS1, which is the blueprint that is being used by the country in a way that makes sure that the country will attain Vision 2030. So you remember that back then there was Transitional Stabilization Program 1, which gave birth to NDS1. And now there will be NDS2 coming through from 2026 until 2030. And all these programs happening from the government are coming through from these economic blueprints. The talk of NDS1, we spoke of roads, rehabilitation. Now, when you look at agriculture, the Pfumvudza has been the national anthem everywhere in all four corners of the country. And His Excellency, those presidential input schemes, ensuring that the country has enough food and get back to that point where you also get to export. And this is what has been described as agriculture as a key economic sector to see out the country's economic turnaround.
And who knows, maybe Zimbabwe will go back to its status of being the breadbasket of Southern Africa. You spoke of Pfumvudza, a very important milestone. We cannot talk of Zimbabwe's agriculture without mentioning Pfumvudza.
Well,
I mean, we're at a point as a country where we're self-sufficient in terms of traditional grains. We're talking of maize or wheat or sorghum. These are the things that we use on a day-to-day. You know, in a Zimbabwean family, you obviously eat sadza every day. You obviously eat maybe sadza remafunde. So for us to be self-sufficient, it's something that's worth taking note of. It's something that's worth speaking about. Even in terms of importing these grains, we are at a point where we have enough for ourselves and enough to feed the region and hopefully the world at large. So yes, we are at a good place as Zimbabweans. We're a good place as a nation. Even the presidential borehole scheme, most cities and towns have had boreholes drilled, courtesy of the presidential borehole scheme, Ian.
And as you get to explain that, you know, it all comes down to how we move forward as a country. These are the ingredients that will make sure that we get to Vision 2030. Looking at agriculture as one of the two key economic sectors, mining, His Excellency, when he launched NDS1, identified agriculture and mining as two key economic sectors that will make sure we get to achieve a Vision 2030. Yes, it is the live broadcast of the inauguration of the President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa happening at a National Sports Stadium. And now we are going to cross over back to Lucy Solo, who is also at the National Sports Stadium, to tell us what exactly is happening. Now it's over to you, Lucy.
Mashizi waye! Hai province ndoda kuitaura zvakasiyana neimwe inonzi Kutsuna. Inonzi Kutsuna province.
And now let's get to find out whether what's happening. But
stadium kutuli kumwetera imavambe agugwa zili mu mulawu igwa musololi iwanyika Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa abo ibali kukhazikwa akazitopera ikuzunda ikuphatsi nkhuba kachita mukati ikasaluzgo izgaenda katulangidze kabi 52.6% izgakachitika mukati ikasaluzgo izgaenda ndiri kuno panapa pa National Sports Stadium muri eZimbabwe ndofunga kuti muri kuzvionera zviri kuitika pano uwandu hwevanhu vari kupinda magedhi azarurwa nenguva dza 6 mangwanani vanhu vachingopinda izvezvi ndine vanhu vandinavo panapa vandichada kukurukura navo kunzwa kuti zviri kumbodii vari kunzwa sei manyukunyuku ari papi ikoke muri eZimbabwe nyalipatela kona namhlanje ngikho napa ngase National Sports Stadium ngithi mina lizwe ukuthi inhlokomo injani esikhangeleke ukugcotshwa kukamongameli welizwe uDr. Emerson Mnangagwa loke onqobe ukhetho alunqobe nge-52.6%. Yes, sikhangele ukuthi abantu bona idlabuzane linjani bazwa njani kuhamba njani yikho ke emfuna ukuthi sike sikuzwe sihambe sikhuluma labo bezikhulumela bezitshela ke ukuthi kumi kanjani. right. Ndiri kuona kuti mune mufaro zvese zviri kuendeka makadi zvenyu. Tinokugamuchirai paZBC TV. Ndingazivawo kuti mabva nepapi, mabva kuprovinsi ipi mimi machedera makaita kanhasi. Aiwa, zviri kunyatsoita.
Inini ndabva paShebgomo kubudiriro. Harare province.
Right. Ko vamwe.
ZANU-PF nekubatana pasine vatengesi. Ndinonzi comrade kutya uripo, ndabva kuMabhuku constituency kwaScott Sakupanya anotapira uye ndokwandabva.
Nhasi tiri panapa tine mufaro mukuru. Mufaro wenyu wakaita sei? Nhasi tiri pano tauya kuzogadza mutungamiri wenyika.
Tiri kunzwa kufara kuti chinhu ndechedu, Zimbabwe nderopa, haitorwe zvekumhanya, yakafirwa nemadziteteguru edu, vana mukoma handadzitedu ana tete vedu vakasara kuchimoyo uko. Saka isusu hatipo kuti nyika yedu ingoende semvura.
The people have spoken. Ndo zvakanyorwa pama-t-shirt apa. Muri kuti chii mukoma?
Aiwa, kunzwa kufara. Ndikuina kwacha mutungamiriri wedu. Nekuti dai tichiita zvinhu zvisina musoro nhasi zuva ranhasi taisingati mabhuruwane idzi. Saka ndiri kutenda hangu.
Mayouth, muri kuvakurudzira kuti chii mukoma?
Viva ZANU-PF, viva! Viva ZANU-PF, viva! Viva! Mberi nakomrade Emerson Mnangagwa. Pasi nemhando. Ndoda kutenda nezuva rakanaka kudai. Nekuti zuva iri rataitwa naMwari, taitwa nyasha dzakakurisa. Ende ndoda kutenda mukuru wedu wekutungamira nyika yeZimbabwe. Mberi nekubatana. Mberi neZANU-PF. Pasi nemhando.
Aiwa, ndinokutendai zvikuru, ndinokutendai. Tinotenda nekuuya pachirongwa chedu paZBC TV. Tinosangana zvakare mune zvimwe zvirongwa. Mukati muri yeZimbabwe sezvo mazvionera patabva panze apo izvezvi tava mukati muNational Sports Stadium umo muri kuitika zvidavado zvese ndo zviri kuitika katiri pano paNational Sports Stadium. Izuva rekugadzwa kwemutungamiri wenyika, iroke usuku lokugqotshwa kukamongameli welizwe sephakathi kweNational Sports Stadium. Lapho-ke elizizwela ukuthi kuyahlatshelwa, abantu bayathokoza, abantu bajabulile, mhlane mufaro mukuru, bantu bali botheledwa mpuli yeZimbabwe, bantu bali kubotelwa zviri kuendeka katiri mumo muno mukati kaNational Sports Stadium. Mbingi bantu bulili kuenenede stage iri kuenda ikavotu vaimbi mvubari zvese zviri kuitika ipo pano paNational Sports Stadium. Takamirira kahurongwa hwose huchange huchiitika, ndo zviri kuitika pari zvino. Vanhu vari kufadzwa, entertainment iriti pari zvino, aripo kaShinsoman uyo ari kuridza pari zvino. Ndizvo zviri kuitika tiri kunoku iko kwenzakadai muri yeZimbabwe. Konkeke kuhamba ngenjabulo, abantu bayathokoza. Sikhona khona ngapha ngaseNational Sports Stadium. Siqhubekela phambili njengoba ngilitshengisile muri yeZimbabwe ukuthi abantu bayathokoza, abantu bali kubotelwa, zonke zili kuenda kabothu, bantu bali kubotelwa. Ndinana mama vangu phanapa. Mama mukasei ndokugamuchirai mama. Zviri kudi tiri pano, ndiri kunzwa mufaro, zviri kufamba sei?
Ndiri kunzwa kufara. Kufara president vaitiwa Mnangagwa vadzokera pachigaro. Zviro vachakutirwa zvakanaka, kugadzirwa migwagwa, zvese zvibhorani, matepi, akaitira zvinhu zvakawanda. Ndinonzwa kufara zviro vati mberi kwacho kune chinangwa,
aiwa tinotenda. Kwaimi mama muri kunzwa sei tiri pano paNational Sports Stadium?
Tiri kunzwa kufara, kunzwa manyukunyuku nababa vedu vapuresidenti Mnangagwa kuti vadzoka pachigaro kusvika 2030 vision 2030 yavari kutaura. Tinenge tichiona kuti aiwa, nekuti mukatarisa izvozvi zvakawandudza kuvarimi zviri kufamba, migwagwa iri kugadzirwa. Nezvinezvi aiwa tiri kunzwa manyukunyuku kufara pamberi neZANU-PF, pamberi nakomrade pasina
mwari kuida makulindiswe mwari kuida mazvinzwira mega ndo zviri kuitika kuno kunational sports stadium iko-ke okwenzakalayo okwamanje lokhu siqhubekela phambili sihamba nenjalo ngesikhathi esilandelayo lokhu sikhuluma labo abantu
wangu kamuri yezimbabwe ndofunda kuti mazvionera nekwandabva uko ndichifamba nemika ndichikuratidzai zviri kuitika muno munational sports stadium ngilitsengiseke ukuthi kuhamba njani khona pa enational sports stadium ngiqhubekela-ke phambili sezvandakuvimbisai kuti ndichange ndichiri kungoenderera mberi ndichikuratidzai zviri kuitika pari zvino regai inini ndikurukure panapa nenyanzvi dzinoona nezvekumafambisirwo ezvematongerwo enyika muno munyika yezimbabwe. Panapa ndina Abigail Mupambi ndokugamuchirai kuchirongwa.
Tinotenda. Thank you so very much.
Tinotenda kuti mauya nhasi ndeapi mashoko amungatipa nhasi takatarisa nyaya dzezvematongerwo enyika nezuva ranhasi rekugadzwa kwemutungamiri wenyika.
Chatingataura ndechekuti takarwa kurwa kwakanaka sezimbabwe, takaita mushando wakanaka senyika. Sarudzo dzagara kana tichikwikwidza mudhemokirasi tinotarisira kuti kuve nemumwe anobudirira, kuve nemumwe anotevedzera, kugova nemumwe anotevedzera pamwe ari kwekupedzesera. But sevana vezimbabwe ngatitore kuti chirongwa ichi chirongwa chekutibatanidza senyika. Mutungamiri wenyika kana achigadzwa haagadzirwe ZANU-PF, haagadzirwe opposition, haagadzirwe vemhuri dzakasiyana, vanogadzirwa mhuri imwe chete yezimbabwe. Chitiko ichi chofanira kutibatanidza sevana vezimbabwe. Ndinotenda dzimwe nyika dzatevera takashanda rufambo urwu, vamwe tikaobserva maelection, vamwe vakaita mapresiding officer. Tasvika patasvitswa naMwari, tinoti Jehovha vatisvitsa pano sevana vezimbabwe. It's time to reflect, come together as a people and take our country forward.
Tinotenda zvikuru tiri pano vana vezimbabwe vakaungana. Ndanzwa makurudzira kuti inguva yekubatana. Ndeapi mamwe mashoko amungawedzera kuti tirambe tiri vana vezimbabwe?
Zimbabwe ndedu tese. We are equal shareholders to this country. Singabantu abezimbabwe, ilizwe ngelethu sonke ndawonye. Ngalesi sikhathi kufuze siqhubekele phambili sikhangele ivision yelizwe, sikhangele ukuthi singenzani ukuze sibe lento esingathi khona i-bread and butter issues. We have noticed that i-opposition ikhona ngasepalamende, i-opposition ikhona emakhansilini ngasemadolobheni. So ngalesi sikhathi this is time yokuthi sikhanganwe zvemapato. Zuva ranhasi rinofanira kuti tikhanganwe zvemapato. Tizive kuti mapato angatishanda pamazuva mashoma adarika aya kuti tive negovernance system panzvimbo. Kana governance system yapanzvimbo hatichataure zvamapato, takutaura kuti Harare ingaitwa sei, Bulawayo ingalungiswa kanjani, ibed bridge ingaqondiswa kanjani, ilizwe leZimbabwe lingaqhutshwa kanjani siya phambili. That is what is very important for me, Lucy.
Ngamazwe amqoka kakhulu mule Zimbabwe yathamba ukuthi lani liyazizwela ukuthi okwanamhlanje sokulusuku lokuthi simanyane sikhangele phambili, simanyane sibe kwazi ukuthi iZimbabwe yethu iya ngaphi, iqonda ngaphi, ilungiswa njani singabantu banye. Ngithanda ukubonga kakhulu ukuthi uzile wasikhuthaza njengabantwana beZimbabwe.
Siyabonga. Hayi sikhona abe-civic society, sikhona. Ngilethemba ukuthi lama oppositions bakhona namhlanje bakithi asibambaneni iZimbabwe ngethu sonke. Ngiyaphinda njalo.
Kolumba kaphathe mphuli yeZimbabwe mulili bwenenede kuti ibantu vachinjira mukati ka stadium media yava ready ikuti izuva lyasunula inyampuke mulindi bwene kusweki yangu kuti nkubali bantu valizide alubo ibantu vachinjira vanhu vachiri kuuya vanhu vachiri kupinda stadium yatarisirwa kuti ichazara munguva pfupi inotevera. Mbombo bompuli yeZimbabwe mbombo bombeli kumulumba mule chino chindi katunkuko kuno ku National Sports Stadium mu dolopo ilya kosinganga dolopo ilya Harare mubuzuba ikasunu mu 4 September awo nikulikulangirwa ikukhazikwa na ikubikwa iphande ikwa musololi iwanyika Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa ekatulangide ikuti ikwalino kabi tiyanda ikuti tubukedezge okuya kuma studio
studio pesi amutedi ndimulumbe nkemutondezga ikuti entertainment iripo pano pa National Sports Stadium. Vaimbi ijawi japraiza Sandra Ndebele vanenge varipo pano vachifadza vanhu sezvamuri kuzvizwira muri yeZimbabwe zviri kuitika pasi pezwi rangu. Varipo izvezvi vari kufadza vanhu vakona ke abathokozisa abantu okwamanje muri yeZimbabwe. Silokhe siqhubekela phambili, balokhe bengena abantu, balokhe bebuya. Omongameli bamazwe atshiyeneyo, Tanzania, Democratic Republic of Congo, South Africa bayabuya ke bengena khonapha. Kusamelelwe ke umongameli welizwe ukuthi afike okwamanje muri yeZimbabwe. Ngothi ndibonge ndibisele khona ngale ngasestudio ku-Ian Loyvon.
Thank you so much, Lucy, for that presentation. Yes, quite talented Lucy. Multilingual, giving us 4 or 5 languages, such talent that we have. But of course, it is an ecstatic atmosphere at the National Sports Stadium. As you have just seen, people are coming in their numbers to see the inauguration of His Excellency President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. And Yvonne, we were talking about the significance of how people should be on board when it comes to national development. And you have seen those that came through to say we are supporting the vision 2030 that His Excellency has.
And a very important point that was raised by one of the guests there. She said the president whom is being inaugurated today does not belong to any political party.
Right.
It's not like we're inaugurating a ZANU-PF president or whatever president, but he is the president of the country.
Yes.
So this speaks to the importance of unity, what holds us together as a people. If we take this day, understand what it means, understand what it stands for, and understand the concept of Ubuntu, the concept of peace, the concept of togetherness, surely we will just go far as a people. This will just even speak to all the other things that we want to do as a people. We cannot talk of any kind of development without unity, Ian, because how do you even work together towards a certain cause if you're not united?
Hence, the message from His Excellency, leaving no one and no place behind, is the mantra that is driving the vehicle to 2030, Vision 2030, that of course we do have. Now in studio at Pockets, we are joined by a political analyst, Mr. Wilbert Mzarawe, to just help us unpack and understand issues around inauguration. Wilbert, good morning and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Ian. It's good to be here.
Today it is the 4th of September 2023. His Excellency will be inaugurated at the National Sports Stadium. Currently, we have seen scenes from the venue. And just tell us a bit in terms of the general overview, your analysis of the elections process and where to where we are today. What is your comment regarding that process?
I think Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa has been working really hard to secure his victory. We have seen that from the political party point of view, he did what the internal democratic process, has to, abide to and follow to in terms of congresses. They all did that in ZANU-PF. Every political party has a leader, and ZANU-PF chose its leader. And then the country of Zimbabwe then had to give Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa another chance, because the presidential elect of today, he has been working for the past 5 years. You have seen transformation in this country. You have seen roads being built. You have seen the mantra of Nika Inowakonewe. It's something that resonates very well with a lot of people, especially young people who understand that we have to stay and build this country for it to be the bread basket winning status which it was in the earlier days of the 90s. So I really feel like the internal democratic process of the political parties played a role. The party processes and the electoral process, which was held by an independent institution, Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, also did its process, and it did within the timely limit which is expected in terms of the law. Within 5 days the election winner was given, and everything went smooth. It was free, fair, credible, and violent free.
Talking of that, the whole process that we saw Zimbabwe hosting, holding the general elections, talk to me about the focus now. We've heard His Excellency explaining the projects they have done in the past 5 years. Where do you think, or what do you think should be the main priority Zimbabwe gears for another 5-year term led by His Excellency?
I think Zimbabwe now has to, first, from what I understand and what I want to believe is, first, we have to clear out the air. The air is there's a winner in this election, and the election was held. After that, we have to build the nation. The nation building process requires each and every participant of the election. It requires each and everyone who is a Zimbabwean.
Right.
If you are an aspiring candidate, if you lost, or if you've got future aspirations, you have to understand that this is time for nation building. We are putting people first. We are putting the country first. We are not putting individual priorities and aspirations. We are putting the country first. So it is time that people come together, they unite, they have that spirit that my said, Ubuntu. Vanhu ndavasanganiswe, vanhu ndavaunite. We have to unite and build our nation. But how can we do that? We have to clear the air that there's a winner. And who's the winner? It's Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. And then we've got to foster relations. And then the worldwide have to understand that Zimbabwe is together. The people of Zimbabwe, they do not have anything that is ongoing in terms of disputes and conflicts. That can only be done when people understand and appreciate the electoral processes that came out, the outcome of the electoral processes.
Now, having said that, Wilbert, having established that we have a winner and now trying to work together as a people, what do you think should be President Mnangagwa's main focus as he starts his second term, maybe during his first 100 days?
I think the main focus for Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa would be uniting people first.
Okay.
We have seen the election results showing us that we've got ZANU-PF strongholds. We also have got an opposition strongholds. It's a fair analysis that we have to take cognizance of. It's something that is reflective of the numbers, but those people that voted for the opposition, those people that voted for the ruling party, for the presidential elect, they have to understand that the bigger picture is about building this country. How can they build this country? They have to unite. That's the most important aspect of life. The rest can follow, but I really strongly believe that the foundation to this country is that unity that people have to accept, and then we build this nation from there.
And do you think this concept of unity, one that you mentioned, one that is very important, and you mentioned rightfully so that we have ZANU-PF strongholds and opposition strongholds, how then do we, from grassroots level, as individuals, without even involving political leadership, get to understand each other? Because I may be from a constituency where ZANU-PF won resoundingly, and Ian comes from a constituency where Triple C won resoundingly. Between the two of us, we have that maybe animosity, saying, you know what, we voted for this person, you didn't. So how do we ensure that we unite and work towards one cause?
The most important aspect would be to understand that for the past 5 years, there's been developmental progress in terms of infrastructure, in terms of policies, in terms of re-engagement. People that understand those tenets would understand that there is a reason why we might have lost if they were opposition or if they're individuals. There is rationality to understand that this person that has been voted for has been doing considerable things to the particular aspects of importance in terms of infrastructure and amongst other things that I've mentioned. So you don't have to come to a point where you feel like it should have gone my way or it should have gone our way. You have to understand that the ways that this person has been operating lately has been been accepted in terms of re-engagement, international. We have seen that the president was hosted by Mr. Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. We have seen that the president also was with the former. We had some relations with Britain, but we've seen. It shows you that the president has been working so much to do good. So the good that he's been doing he's doing to the country. He's not doing to individuals, not doing to the party that he belongs to. He's doing to the country. So we have to give him chance, and we have to give him time, and we have to help him in where we can. How can we do it? We have to understand and be faithful to his leadership.
Before I hand over to Ian, I just want to hear from you. We had some sections of the political arena calling for demonstrations, citing irregularities. What does that say of someone who holds a leadership post, particularly in politics, calling for such?
I would want to put it in the context of law. The patriotic bill is very accurate and very perfect to this nuisance. And we had a race, and a race there's supposed to be a winner and a victor. Whichever outcome, either you don't believe it, you don't trust it, or you don't appreciate it, that's another debate for another day. But the most important part is that the laws of the land, they allow people to have grievances. But the laws that allow them to have grievances, it also gives strategically, the law says you can go to the court, you can do that. If they've got any particular problem in queries, they can do that. It's their right, by the way. It's their right. They can access their right either way. But if they do contrary to the law, then the law will take precedence. And the Zimbabwe Republic Police will always be there to give. In fact, the Zimbabwe Republic Police actually understands and accepts to say, if you want to do a particular rally or demonstration, you can give us a notice, and then it's a right that is protected in the Constitution. However, the most important part is that your rights should not affect other people's rights. The moment that you think that you are so important to think that what you want to do or what you feel like doing is more important than other people, then there's a problem. So there are other people that wants this country to move further forth, not to be held ransom by people with aspirations or with personal goals. It's important that people understand that there are also other people that want to go further forth in life. People want to work, people want to contribute to nation building, but that can only be done when people understand that there's a leader, and this leader has to be given chance. The chance that he was given for the past 5 years, we want to give him. They want to give him because they voted. I would say because I would feel entitled, but they voted. The 52.6% of the people of this country, they want to give him a chance. So he has to be given a chance. If there are other people that don't believe otherwise, that's fair and fine. But what does the law say? You take it from there.
Well, it's all about having the country moving forward, like you're rightfully saying. Yes, if you are just joining us, it is the live broadcast of the inauguration that will be currently taking place at the National Sports Stadium, and we are having a discussion in studio with Wilbert Mzaro, who is a political analyst, and we did cross over a couple of times to the National Sports Stadium as we get to have a feel of what is happening. Just to give you a lineup, there will be entertainment from Japreza, the Chireme Right Maker, and you also get to have the likes of Chief Wenje, and you know his music, and you'll be also performing Talk of Sandra Ndebele coming through as well. Among other artists, over 30 artists have been told will be performing at the National Sports Stadium. And later on, there will be a match between Zimbabwe, the Warriors, and the Brave Warriors of Namibia. So if you're anywhere around Harare, wondering what to do, you better find your place at the National Sports Stadium and you get to enjoy yourself. We are going to take a break as we make sure that we get to give you more and more updates. So do not go anywhere. Stay tuned to ZBC News. We'll be giving you more updates live from National Sports Stadium.
The human body is a complex organism. The interplay between mind, body, and soul is one of the most mind-boggling of peculiarities. The body is constantly subjected to the rigors of life. Labor, diet, emotional strain, and the harshness of the external environment bear down on each human being and impact the quality of life. Being free from disease does not actually point to a healthy state of being, as there is more to consider than the eye can see. This brings to the fore the concept of wellness.
Wellness is misunderstood. There are many aspects to wellness, and people understand wellness as being a physical state of feeling good. But wellness in actual facts exists on very many levels. It is a combination of physical health, mental health, emotional well-being, and spiritual well-being. So it encompasses a holistic aspect, and that is truly what wellness is.
The dimensions of wellness are broad and holistic, covering various aspects of everyday life.
There are several dimensions that exist when we refer to wellness, and we believe that they exist on 8 levels, and we call them the 8 natural doctors, and these encompass nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, temperance, air, rest and trust in a divine power. When we talk about these 8 natural doctors, they're readily available to everyone, and they are simple and easy, and they help you to achieve optimum well-being.
While the medical care system is the traditional source of respite for those suffering from various ailments, wellness takes a whole different approach.
We do believe that there is always a time for medical intervention. You know, we cannot ever deny the benefits of medical intervention, but we hope to steer you away from drugs, surgeries, and anything chemical, because in the long run, any chemically based drugs and treatments actually are not good for your natural system. We believe in the natural remedies because they have no risks, and they have no damaging effects on your body, either short-term or long-term. We also believe that if we empower you to use natural remedies, then this will give you longevity, it will give you wellness, it will give you holistic well-being. So one of the reasons we decided to have our centre in this location was the importance of tranquility. We believe that setting an environment is very important on even the subconscious perception. And we felt that out here, you have nature being brought into the centre, water is very calming, and we chose a very natural colouring in the centre. You know, we kept it clean and we kept a zen feel so people would feel relaxed and completely at ease. We're going to take you through to our consult room where we have a lady, Siobhan, with a few health concerns, and we have our consultant who's going to be doing several health tests to help her gauge her level of wellness.
On the test side, I will be checking her blood pressure, her oxygen saturation, her blood glucose levels and her blood cholesterol levels, and we also gauge temperature.
It's very important to have a series of tests done to establish the degree of wellness. People are under the misconception that wellness is just a feeling of well-being at the minute. So we encourage you to go through a process of tests so that we can get a true evaluation of what your body is doing and how your lifestyle is affecting your general state of health. We had a look at Siobhan going through a series of tests, and from these tests we were able to ascertain that she is in fact a generally very healthy person. All the readings and measurements that were taken by her test indicated that on all the levels that would give us concerns that she was generally a well person. We have, especially in Zimbabwe, many cases where people are faced with diseases such